Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Life Her Podcast. I am your host, Yvette Lloyd, and today's episode is deeply personal to me. And I want to express how I am in a season I once prayed for. And it's not just in business, but in the spirit, in the mindset, and also in the company that I keep. And we all know when you in business or even just in your personal life overall, you have to always watch the company that you keep. And a lot of times you don't know the specific company that you're keeping, not until you find yourself elevating and growing mentally and spiritually as well. And a lot of characteristics that we bring upon ourselves or experiences that we bring into our life, it usually happens and it's due to the people that we are surrounded by. So for years, I asked God to elevate me to a place where me at the right tables and surrounded with people who are like purpose driven, growth minded, and kingdom aligned, which is like extremely important to me because I found myself in a position where I felt like I wasn't elevating because I was the smartest one in the room. And not only me just being the smartest one in the room, I was also the only motivator in the room. I didn't have anyone pouring into me. I was just always pouring into everyone that was surrounding me. And now it's like I'm here with the things that I've been praying for. And not only just with my podcast is growing, but my daycare is thriving and I'm traveling with powerhouse women, and also, I stepped into spaces like real estate, stock market, and nonprofit leadership, which I've already had for Day Young Women's program. However, I have figured out a different way to elevate for Day Young Women's program and still be able to serve the community and give back in many different ways. And all with the right people beside me, it's it's such a relief. It is a relief. I could literally cry about it right now on how good I feel and how God has been so good to me and how me being so consistent, me having faith, me having the ability to be able to listen to God and let him do his thing and also do the work. Like, you could pray for many things, but are what are you doing to actually get to that point in your life? So I literally had to analyze and sit back and look at the different things that I had going on in my personal life where I felt I wasn't growing at. So writing down your pros and cons of your life, things or where you want to be at and where you are at now, and being honest with yourself and not in denial of what's going on, and holding yourself accountability of the things that you are doing in your life. That's when you will start to see progress. That's when you start to see God answering your prayers, because he can't just do it when you really not doing nothing. So that's when I started like really transitioning and everything. So mainly in this episode, I really just want to talk about what happens when you truly align with your purpose and how your circle can change your life, as well as like how walking in your assignment can be open doors you never imagined. And if you ever been in a waiting list in a waiting season of just how you felt like when you were trying to build more and do more, this episode is definitely for you. So I really want to just get into it, y'all. So basically, praying for this moment is when I looked at my then versus now. So back then, I was always just, I was giving too much. It's like I had no boundaries. And when I was giving too much and having no boundaries, it was me emptying my own cup. And then once people saw that my cup was empty, that was their advantage to take advantage of me and realize, like, okay, this is my moment where I could just pull everything up out of her because she's not going to notice it and she's going to let me keep pulling. And once I feel like I'm done with her, once I feel like I could just do whatever I can, that's when I'm going to ditch her because I feel like I'm in a position where I want to be in life already. So I don't need her anymore. She's nothing to me. And that's when the entitlement come in, the betrayal come in, the disrespect come in. A lot of things come in when people see the vulnerability that you have and the love that you give. I felt like, and I kind of still feel this way, is when you do a lot, you lose value. You lose value of yourself. And also when you do so much for people, it creates them to be unappreciative of the things that you've done because they will make it seem like you've done absolutely nothing at all. But then when you try to mention it to give them an understanding of you've where they've been in your life since they first came in and all the way to now, and you see the elevation in them, you see the difference in them of them doing better with their life, they will feel like you are throwing it up in their face when it's not that. I'm trying to make a point on when you started being around me, you wasn't doing this, this, and this. However, I helped you and assisted you to get where you at today due to my knowledge, due to my connections, due to my environment. You weren't in this type of environment. You wasn't experiencing these type of things. You was still trying to get here. So once that person get there and when they act funny towards you and you mention it to them, they think you throwing it in your face, but yet you're trying to make a valid point so they can see where you're coming from. So I noticed that was happening a lot in my life with individuals where I was assisting them and helping them and putting them in positions where they needed to be, putting them in rooms so they can network on their own. And they were unappreciative of it later on in the long run because zero in, when you are the brains of something, you find yourself continuing to elevate. But when you're a brains of something trying to help someone to get somewhere where they need to be and they don't have the proper tools to actually get to where they're going because they have the lack of knowledge, they have the lack of motivation, they have the lack of confidence, they have many lacks where you picked up at so that they wouldn't have to utilize it and come to realization that they do lack in these areas. So when you take the replacement of their lacks and they're going to start feeling like they are doing this when in reality it's you, they're not going to feel it until later on once you leave out of their life completely, when you notice that they aren't elevating anymore at all, things aren't working out too great for them. Is on not only because of them blocking their blessings and mistreating you, but it also plays a part on showing their laziness, their lack of accountability, their lack of motivation, their lack of confidence. They will start to see the characteristics where they lack at. And then what it's going to do once they're out of your life is going to create them to start monitoring everything that you do to try to figure out to get back to that space, or even have negative conversations with other people, play victim and make it seem like you're the worst person. All it does is bring curiosity from other people to, like, wait, you talking about this person so much, I don't know them, but let me see who this is, and it creates them to like you too. However, you still got to be careful with those type of people too, because they're going to think they can use you up just as much as the other person did. So it's just like me just trying to find different spaces on where I need to be. However, my then versus now, I had to pray for God to strengthen me and motivate me and not carry a burden on how people treated me. A lot of times when people treat you so bad, you would carry it on for so dang long. You still making yourself miserable and you still talking about it, but you still not moving forward in life. You gotta keep going and not keep dwelling on the past of things what people have done to you. You can use it for knowledge. You can use it for tools to help other people to not make those same mistakes. However, you have to get past that and not speak from hurt, but speak from growth. Speak for faith. Speak for knowing that God has brought you out of somewhere and positioned you somewhere else. So, with God positioning me and helping me realize the things that I was like not strengthening, once I started strengthening myself and noticing that, okay, you in a good position, you where you need to be, let me start putting you in a position to meet certain people. So it got to a point where I'm standoffish a lot. So me being standoffish and having these relationships with people, it caused me to not really stay in communication with them, not to really just be around them as much because I had my guard up. So, sometimes when you get too close to people, things kind of go left to me. So I had to work on and pray on my limitations. I had to work on me taking my time on being around someone for me to get comfortable. A lot of people rush into something. They're putting all their eggs in one basket instantly, just putting all 12 dozen, all of them in a basket at once. So I noticed to put one egg in at a time, and I won't be to at the second egg until after a year or two later type thing. It's like really taking your time to get to know people. And a lot of times, like when you're getting to know people, don't just get to know what they have. Like if somebody have so much knowledge on grant writing or sponsorships or a publicist or anybody in childcare that that's in childcare just like you and all of that, that's cool. That's one of the main reasons why you're getting cool with that person, feel like that person is your people. However, getting to know people is totally different from knowing people. So I just be wanting to actually get to know that person internally, so that people can always look good at what they do, but they could be a messed up person on the inside. And I don't like messing with messed up people on the inside because you could be so successful, multimillionaire, run a huge company, you could do real estate, you could do investments, you could know about stocks, you could know about crypto, you can know so many things and look so great at doing it on social media, on YouTube, or even just you talking about it. You can do it all great. But me knowing you is a totally different ball game. Like it's people are internally messed up in so many ways where I don't want to get to know them that far to it. So that's when you pray for discernment and feelings and understanding the shifts that people will experience while you're getting to know them well. And you don't want to deal with traumatized people. You don't want to deal with people that gossips about other people. Relationships matter. If you hear how someone is speaking on another person, don't think you exempt. And I had to realize that a lot too. Like if you're talking about a person that you be around all the time, you consider them as a friend, a best friend, or family or something, that matters a lot too. So I just I s- I'm more silent and observant more than anything. And then after that, I will take some form of action slowly. Very, very slowly. So, excuse me, but I just want you guys to not feel so stuck because I felt so stuck at a point of time, but I stayed faithful at the same time. Like you could be so stuck to a point you won't actually have no form of movement at all. But it's also a way to be stuck and still staying faithful and pushing yourself forward on where you need to be. And I didn't know how, but I knew my blessings were coming. I just didn't know how, what, when, where, or nothing like that. But just the fact of me just being who I am, being a good person, staying true to myself, not trying to mask who I am, and just always being my authentic self matters a lot because you can't duplicate someone that already exists. But if that person doesn't exist, you'll have a hard time duplicating and any and everything because you're operating out of fakeness. You're operating off something that's just non-fictional. Like, who are you? And you got to keep up with that. You got to constantly keep up with a lie. You got to keep it going. Then what they ask you 2, 3 years later? Shit, you gonna forget. You are going to literally forget it all, like, tremendously. And I would say definitely being in the right tables and with the like-minded and forward moving women and even men, it's amazing. So let me just elaborate more on this. So last year, I was asked to be in a program, and this program is for individuals that own daycare centers and not just regular daycare centers. It's more of like in-home daycares, and I've had mine for about 17 years. Hmm. And having it for this long, I've I didn't have no one to mentor me. I didn't have anyone to tell me right from wrong. I didn't have anyone to teach me nothing about childcare at all, period. Like, literally, it sounds crazy, but I haven't had anyone help me with it, and it's really sad. And it was hard for me to actually find that space because people are gatekeeping. People do not share information. They don't wanna work as a team or nothing like that, and I was fine with it, and I was fine with it because it wasn't time for me to be around anyone, and God was protecting me. You have to know the difference between him protecting you and removing you from something compared to you wanting something so bad and you just jump yourself right into something that really doesn't align with you at that moment. And no one aligned with me at that moment. So now that I'm in this program, it's been a true blessing to a point. They're teaching me the steps that I wasn't taught years ago, the steps that I actually learned in my 30s, and now I'm in my 40s. These are things that they're teaching me now that I learned back then, but I really didn't execute properly because I had the lack of knowledge. I didn't have the correct resources or nothing of people being able to help me and have the expertise to do these certain things. So you can have your LLC, you can have your EIN, you can have your nonprofit, you can file taxes, you can do all these things. But it's other things that come in place with it. And me being able to be connected with the Akron Urban League, me being around with like 14, 15 other women that are daycare owners, like, y'all, these women in this group, they are so genuine. Like, I haven't been around women that was just that communicate well and give out resources, give out information to help you elevate, willing to help you elevate, willing to sit down and talk with you. It's rare. It's very, very rare. Um, God, I'm accepting everything what he's doing right now when it comes to me having these group of women in my life. And shout out to Brittany. Brittany is the one that works for Early Childhood Resource Center here in Akron, Ohio. She has recruited me to be in this program. She saw something in me, and it was a blessing for someone to finally see me and willing to help me instead of trying to destroy me and gatekeep from me and wanted me to be even worse than what I was at that moment because, just me dealing with grief and stuff over the years, I felt like I was at a standstill. I felt like I couldn't move anywhere. I felt paralyzed. So me just feeling that way and Brittany bringing this program into my life, it was like it was it was a relief for me. And we have been to the House of Representatives, spoken with different reps. We have been hearing different things from the wine. It's just it's just a lot that we have been doing to a point. It's not overwhelming. It's overwhelming, but it's a good overwhelming. I take this type of overwhelming any day. And I'm loving it. We see each other monthly. And it's just it's a breath of fresh air. It really is. And I just I just want anybody to understand and know how important it is to just finally find your village. And also it may take a while for you to pray for your village, but once God get it right, he gets it right. He gets it right. And then I also stepped out on faith. I usually don't do a lot of trips with women, but my Ghana trip was like tremendously amazing. Like going somewhere so many miles away from home and hours and knowing I'm going to be gone for almost 2 weeks and going with women who I don't know besides my one of my best friends. It's like it was just a relief for me to actually be surrounded by so many women. Y'all, like, actively, our days were, like, booked all the time. We had classes, learn about real estate, not even just real estate of just buy and sell, but we learned the loan processing. We learned how to even purchase homes in Ghana. We looked at different apartments in Ghana, townhomes in Ghana, the the history of Ghana, the history of our ancient history. Like, it was we did so much and I was educated literally the whole trip. Every day I was educated on something. And I love being educated so much because it's never enough that we can know. But just the fact of all of us women being together every day at all these separate times and getting along with each other, it was a complete blessing. I enjoy every moment of it. I can't even deny it. And the fact that now we have an investors group where we're going to start investing in not only Ghana, but other international places where we can invest our money in. And I'm loving this because I'm making so much money doing childcare to a point I was just dumping money out but not receiving nothing. I was always giving back to the community and not receiving nothing. So now it's like I can invest in something for myself, and not only myself, I can give back to the community as well, and I could expand and build wealth. A lot of people think wealth is just finances. Wealth isn't only finances. Having money, wealth is ownership. You're owning something. And me owning something is just it's a true blessing. And decreasing bills, like, I do not have a lot of bills at all. I refuse to even accumulate bills. And I'm also even establishing more credit now. For years, since I was like in my early 20s, I never wanted to establish credit like that. I didn't want to establish credit at all because I had someone steal my credit before. And when they stole my credit, they just messed up so much. And I didn't have the energy for it. But I decided I'm going to get my credit together and start establishing it and making it better for me. And it has been going so great because I do want to invest more. I want to invest in all of these real estate projects and everything, but I've learned so much over the years. I can't be spending my own finances no more. I have to continue to put my money somewhere else. And with me being a self-made business owner, I don't have no 401k just coming out because of me having my job. I don't have health insurance because it's me having a job. Like all these things I have to put in place for myself. And I've been putting it in place more and more by the day. I've always had a Roth IRA, but lately I just finding myself investing more into it, investing more into stocks, investing more into crypto. And now I'm currently trying to learn more about day trading as well. And just, having doing my time management so that I'm able to do these things that I do want to do. And I am doing it. And with me establishing my credit, I will be able to get loans easily under my business name or my personal and everything that comes with it. And with me having my house, I don't have the mortgage. So with me not having a mortgage, I want to invest back into my home and upgrade a lot of things to my home. And that's what I've been doing for the past, I'd say 3 years. I've just been doing things at a time. I'm not dumping it all at once. But with me establishing credit, I'm able to do more. I took these classes about homes and mortgages and classes about loans and grants, and I'm just taking classes on so many things and learning knowledge from so many different people in different ways because everyone teach differently and everyone has different type of information. So with me doing all these classes and learning all of this stuff, it's creating my own legacy for me to be able to do the things that I want to do, and not only for just me doing real estate, but even other future business ventures that I have interest in and that I plan on doing and that I am going to do. So it feels great to be able to align things up. I love Fidelity. I love everything that they have with it. I have a savings goal that I do all the time. Is money that I enter in my account every day, is money that I enter in my account every other week. It's just different goals and different things that you could apply and for yourself to do all the time. And those are some of the things that I do for myself. And I do it even more now today. And it's a blessing. It's a true blessing, and for me to be able to not, spend my own money. I don't have student loans. My student loans have been forgiven. They are not on my credit at all anymore. And I'm not real big on materialistic thing. I'm more of like an investment type person. So I love investing into things. And for me to be able to do more with my credit because I have no credit established. Y'all, I literally have 4 things on my credit. Only have 4 things on there, and it's really not doing nothing because mostly everything is like really kind of like paid for in a sense. So um I ended up purchasing a new car recently, but I didn't want an expensive car. So this car costed me less than $13,000 so I can make payments on this car. In my mind, I have to really like discipline myself to not pay the car off so fast. So I did recently do that so I could start establishing credit so they could start seeing credit history and my credit score could start, doing a little something a lot more. And I find that like super important for myself to be able to do that. so that I can move forward with different things with personal and business credit because I had no interest in it. So it's a good thing and a bad thing as far as me having credit. It's a good thing that I'm not in debt. It is a bad thing too at the same time, but I'm looking at it more as a positive because some people at the age of 41 are in deep debt and they can't even get themselves out of it. And I'm blessed to not even be there. Um, and it's just an elevation for me overall to even just be in this position. And not only that, I have been I have a mentor. She mentors me about my business, but it's not really my business that she uplifted me and inspired me for. And it's shout out to Felicia. If you want to know more about Felicia, guys, I will actually put her information in the show notes. But she is so freaking amazing. Like, she not only doing this one-on-one with me, but she's also touching bases with me on a personal healing area. She has me healing from friends, from family, things that people done to me. She sent me Bible scriptures. She sent me quotes. She sent me videos. She talks to me and let me vent, and she makes me feel comfortable even communicating with her. And honestly, since working with her, I have changed tremendously, and it is a beautiful feeling for me to know that I'm changing, I'm growing. And for her to even say a lot of things that she say is just amazing. And it helps a lot with character alone because I was recently invited into a round table of other individuals, which are literally multimillionaires, and they doing big things with big companies and everything. And it's literally probably like 30 of us in this round table, and we're meeting up on Zoom, and we're going to be collaborating on a lot of things. And I am like extremely excited about it because I literally pray to be at tables like this. I literally pray to even get to know more people that are like this because this is who I am. This is where I want to be, and this is where I'm at. So being at the table and communicating with these people, and our first one is actually tomorrow. I am going to love this. I am going to love this a lot. And that's like one of my main goals of my bucket list. um, that is a bucket list of completion. And I think one of my other ones really, I want to sit and talk with John Hope Bryant. I really love that guy. He is so motivating. He feeds you so much education, and he lets you know a lot of truthful things. For him to be a billionaire in the way he communicate, the way he carry himself, the way he take time out his day to literally educate people through his podcast, I think it is so inspiring because you could be doing anything else with your time, but you took time out of your busy day and your time with your family and everything. You done worked hard, your business and everything, but you taking time out to actually communicate and educate and enlighten people on life itself. It's not even just business. It's just everything about you overall. And what I've learned is over the years of me focusing on different things is a lot of people have to understand how to mind their business, staying focused on themselves, loving themselves, and making themselves a better version of them. And having those different tools and those abilities for you to do that is nothing but a gift. You don't want to sit and gossip about people, even the agenda of different things when it comes to the media, when it comes to the presidency, these bills they're passing, DEI, and all of these different things. Do not find yourself getting distracted by these things. You want to be able to focus on you and your family, your household, whatever that you're doing at that moment, because before you even get into politics, before you even get into negative gossip conversations with other people, you need to look at yourself. You need to ask yourself, where am I at in life where I have so much focus on something that doesn't need focus? And you got to figure out how you're going to execute that and get out of conversations like this. Stop being around people that are like this, because it's not healthy to do that. And I just find myself just being in such peace when it comes to that. So just make sure you have conversations with people about more of investments, accountability, and even abundance mindset. Like, it's just so important to even just put yourself in that position, and the role of like having an environment of business growth. You always want to do that, or even personal growth. And you gotta not take things too personal and serious when people is trying to tell you something about yourself. Because sometimes people see things that you don't see, or you do see it and you're in denial that you don't want to see it. It's just you being honest with yourself. And I'm just excited about it. I'm even excited about also just enhanced of my guests on the podcast. I really plan on doing sponsorships really soon, getting a few more ads added to it. I just want to take everything to just a whole nother level, and more visibility and more impact when it comes to my podcast. But I feel like it's me that have to show a lot more impact as well, and let people get to know me and who I am. That's another reason why I am doing this episode, which is like so important to me, because me having visibility and people getting to know who I am a lot more, it'll help them want to listen to Life Her podcast even more, because I'm not only just doing this podcast because this is just a podcast, you know. I'm literally doing this podcast because this is my life. These are the things that I have going on in my life. These are the things that I am doing, and these are the mistakes that I made. This is how I like keep my faith and keep moving, because honestly, y'all, I'm not even supposed to be sitting here talking to you right now. After all the things I've been through, all the losses that I took, it was supposed to take me out completely. I'm supposed to be depressed, stressed, or even gone by now. And that's how bad the trauma was in my life, because it was tearing me apart so much. And with it tearing me apart, the way that I am today in life, with my health and everything, my health is like amazing right now. From and then it even helped even more from when I went to Ghana, because when I went to Ghana, I was only eating like fruits and vegetables, like real healthy food. And they don't tamper with the food there like they do here in the United States. So with me eating so healthy there, when I came back home, y'all, I was sick. Every time I ate food, I was sick. Ate food that, even like when it comes down to the meat and anything, I just couldn't do it. And it had motivated me to actually go into juicing. So now I be juicing. I juice a lot, and it has changed my life. It got my skin looking good, everything. I'm just so vibrant, of a totally different person right now, y'all. I am loving every moment of it. I wake up happy. I am energetic. I am ready for the world. So I just been trying to map out everything of where I'm going to next. And me actually, I'm writing a book right now. So I'm doing my book. I plan on having more workshops when it comes to me having in-person workshops within my podcast studio. I'm doing a lot more in-person interviews. So if anybody's interested in in-person interviews, please let me know. You can come here to Akron, Ohio, or even Cleveland, Ohio. And I am going to be doing that, making myself a lot more visible, and people can see me more and hear me more. that is the goal. I've been doing so well with my daycare center. I've been making so many changes and getting that aligned up right. For a while, I felt real bitter when it came to daycare, but it's like now it's like a whole nother motivation from me being in this group with other women is really motivating. Just hear them speak on different things that they do. And also just seeing them doing so well in the childcare business and me not feeling alone in anything because a lot of times we have everything in common. It's just having someone to talk to get through it helps a lot. So I am literally in my elevating phase, and it's coming through really, really good. So it's like having like a circle, having this circle in different circles. It has shifted my mindset, my spirit, my energy, and even enhanced my character in so many ways where I see I actually see people loving me genuinely because at first I really couldn't see it. It was like super blurry. But I see it and I feel it and I'm embracing it. And I just want y'all to know like it is a truly difference between discussing like discussing making a difference and actually having the confidence of doing everything that you wanted to do. And I think I was lacking the confidence because I didn't think my things were good enough for my audience. But I've been noticing when I do post things for my audience, they are really liking it. But I still had the lack of confidence not liking it myself. So that was like a portion where I had to really make some changes within myself on why am I feeling this way and why should I not feel that way. And it's just about just who you are becoming, like just always become the greater version of yourself. You could never outgrow being better. Like it's always so many ways to be better. And when you are in these rooms and you do get the opportunity to be in a room, don't go in there being negative. Don't go in there talking about other people. Don't start entertaining things that you don't need to entertain. And one of the main important things to me is identifying who's who. A lot of times I've seen people be like complete assholes to people that are really good people and not knowing this person is the owner of the building that you sitting in having this meeting. You just never know who's who because identifying a person if they don't look like the way you think they should look, 9 times out of 10, they're somebody. You just never know. And that's why you always should treat people with so much goodness and kindness because you just never know who a person is. And you just never know what people are going through either. Because in these times, people are like really crashing out. And you don't want to be that crash out. Like you really just need to just focus on yourself and just do you. It's like the best thing that you could ever do, but I do wanna leave this with you guys taking a leap out on faith, applying for that nonprofit, applying to elevate your business, start investing, start collaborating. Collaboration is so important. Collaboration is needed. I hope you guys look more into that, but also pray for discernment to know who you getting yourself into and what you are getting yourself into. And also having contracts. Contracts is important. It only take a little bit of time to go over a contract, get a contract, get a lawyer to sit with you both to make sure that person may have a lawyer too. Just make sure you always do your due diligence when it comes to things like this because you always want to protect yourself. You didn't work so hard. You did not get this far for no reason. Just always do business with business and not mix family and friends with business or even people that you just met Just make sure it's things in place so that you all are protected. You're not doing a contract just for yourself. You're doing a contract for the person that you with too, just in case they need to be educated on that. Just always come from goodness. Like just always be genuine. Just do things do things the good way, the positive way, not in a scamming way or a hidden motive or ulterior motive that you have just to try to mess somebody over or just to feed your ego and things like that. Like eventually life will catch up with you. Karma is coming quicker than ever in these days. Just do right by people. Just make sure you always do right by people. Do right by yourself because you never know who God's chosen ones are. And God don't play about his people. So just always make sure you do good with people and make sure your future is shaped by the people you are aligned with. And I feel like I have finally made it to that point, and it's like such a blessing. So I really hope that you guys learned a lot from this podcast episode. I promise you will hear more of me. I found myself getting a lot more motivated when it comes to things like this now because it's needed and my testimony is needed. My knowledge is needed. I just had to know what I needed to do to continue to execute because sometimes we could self sabotage ourselves. Sometimes we don't think things are good enough. And when literally it is, you just got to put it out there and just make sure that you're able to do the things that you are willing and want to do. And that's for you and aligned for you. So thank you for everyone for tuning in to Life Hurt Podcast. I really appreciate you guys for listening. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and listen to Life Hurt Podcast on all major platforms.